Hello and welcome to the Women's Rugby Pod. Another episode this week as we're gearing up for the World Cup. We had all the reaction from Penny Hill Park and the England squad announcement today at the Vale Resort down in Wales for reaction straight off the back of their 32-player squad being announced by Ewan Cunningham for the World Cup out in New Zealand. First up, we hear from the Wales captain. Who else? Siwan Lillicrap. Delighted to be joined by the Wales World Cup captain. Just how good does that sound?
Yeah, that's the first time I've heard that like that, Johnny. So yeah, it's pretty epic. You know, it's always a privilege to captain this side and captain your country, but to do it in a World Cup feels extra special. And yeah, so I just, when Johan asked me, I had to pinch myself, never take for granted, what I've had before, and felt like I really had to prove myself in training and really graft hard this pre-season as well. With us all being professional now, it's a different ball game. And when Johan asked me, obviously the answer was absolutely yes, and thank you very much. But it's a bigger honour than just captaining any other campaign.
When you hit that red button to end the call, what exactly did you do?
When what? Sorry.
When you ended the call with Johan.
I was face to face. It was face to face. Yeah, it was face to face.
When you got out of the room, did you jump in the air? Did you squeal? What?
Yeah. It was took a second, and then was literally one. It was here in the Vale, so I couldn't celebrate too hard. So I had to be a bit reserved. But yeah, it was literally unreal. Feeling, and just feel hugely honoured to be in this position. Hugely honoured.
It's a hugely exciting time for women's rugby, as you and I have spoken about for a while now. Just how excited are you the potential of this squad, this 32-player squad that you're taking to New Zealand?
The most excited I've ever been about a squad. The belief that we've got now from, even though we've had 2 tough warm-up games and didn't perform our best, day to day we see what we can do on that training field and can feel it as a squad. And we've been able to push ourselves to our limit so much harder than ever before, and 3 sessions a day really get some more detail in, but also push ourselves physically, recover and come back and repeat it. So we know how hard we've worked. We know and feel how far we've come in a short space of time. So my confidence in this squad to be able to do something special is up there with the most confident I've been.
How do you and the rest of the management team and leadership group, because the transition's been so quick, even today, big sponsorship deals and all the rest of it, you look like British and Irish Lions. It's moving so quickly, and contracts and all the rest of it. I guess you want to be 3 years down the line, and just managing those expectations that you've got to walk before you can run. How difficult is that for you and Johan and the rest of the management team?
Yeah, it's hugely difficult. I think we've accelerated so much over the last 8 to 9 months, from gaining our first 12 contracts to how our progress looked in Six Nations, how the team performed compared to where we were before, to more contracts, to over 30 of us training full-time throughout summer. Sometimes, we've got to just realise how far we've come, and how much better we are doing, and how better it feels. But so sometimes we just need to take a reality check and be like, no, we are doing well, but it's good because our expectations are always high, and we want to keep pushing those boundaries. But when things don't go to plan, I think that's the biggest test then, how we come back down to earth and make sure we put things right and then move forward again, because that's life. Things aren't going to be perfect all the time. You're not always going to have the all-rounded performance, and things might not always go your way, but how we respond to that will be our biggest test.
2 more. You had a special visitor at training today.
Yeah.
Who was it, and what was his message?
Yeah, Gerald Davis was here, obviously the president of the WRU, and he just, spoke to us about our England game, and, he hopes that we move forward from that, because he knows how hard we've worked and, what's next. And it's important that yeah, maybe we did dwell on it for a bit, but we now concentrate on New Zealand. But he wants us to go and have the time of our lives out in New Zealand, enjoy each other's companies, and, you know, concentrate on our next job. And that next job is our first game against Scotland. And, you know, he spoke superbly. He's an inspirational guy, and, you know, it's an honour to have Gerald here. And to be fair, you know, he's been a big follower of us. Since I've been captain the last few years, he's been to many of our games, and he's been there with his wife after speaking to us, and has been a supporter of us. So it was really nice to see Gerald at training today, and, you know, he wanted to personally wish us well, but, you know, that's really inspirational. A guy like Gerald, and, you know, what he brings and what he represents as well, was really, I think we all took a lot of wisdom from that.
Yeah, you can listen to him all day long. Just finally, if there's only one message you can give to the rest of the 31 players for 6 weeks, what would that message be?
It's a tough one, isn't it? One message. I'd say, like, let's go and enjoy, but do what we do to our best ability with smiles on our faces. So, yeah, that's what I would say. Like, let's do what we do to our best ability, but with smiles on our faces, because, you know, we've got it all here. We've got to believe that, and most importantly, we get the best out of each other when we're happy and we're enjoying what we do. And, you know, we're lucky enough to be professional players now, travelling to the other side of the world to play in a Rugby World Cup. That's a hell of experience, and we get to do it with our best mates, essentially. So let's make the rugby good and enjoy our time together.
Awesome. She ends it with an unbelievable soundbite, as ever. Enjoy the opportunity.
Thank
and
you.
Just really, really
Cheers,
enjoy
Johnny.
it. Next up, it's Georgia Evans, the Saracens flanker. She knows how to win for club. Now she wants to do the same for country down in the land of the long white cloud. Here we are then. Georgia Evans, World Cup squad, new sponsor on board. You're days away from going to New Zealand. You just got through one of the last training sessions. Which sort of cloud are you on? Are you 9 or somewhere in between 9 and 15?
I'm just like on my way to Mars at the moment. I'm just in a bubble of, I've got no words, which is quite unusual for me. So yeah, completely overwhelmed and like, yeah, on my way to the stars.
Haven't had the easiest route here with a very bad injury, which you did incredibly well to get back to playing so very, very quickly. When you're in those darkest moments and you know there's a World Cup looming, does today seem sort of unbelievable?
Yeah, completely surreal. Like I said, overwhelming really, because at the time it was a question of whether in my head, will I get back for the squad? Will I get back in time? Will I be up to standard? The girls did such a great job in the Six Nations. It was all about me coming back in and finding my form again. So to then get the news and to be here today is a pretty surreal moment, and like completely magical, and like all the words to express happiness, like unbelievable in one word.
And your take on the squad. I'm not asking you to pick up to the individuals, but the blend and the balance. You're away from home for a long time. That blend and balance and the gelling of a team off the park is just important as potentially on the park, or to give you the results on the park. You happy with where the squad's at?
Oh, 100%. I think when we went to Canada, we treated it as like a mini World Cup. So this was how it was going to be away from home. How are we going to deal with that? Being with, you know, one roommate for 10 days, being together all the time. How are we going to entertain ourselves? The groups we're in. So we really utilised that to actually cement that. Actually, we've got a great group of girls. Like everybody's fantastic. Like everybody likes each other, as far as I'm aware. Like we all get along like house
That's not what
fire.
they're saying. No.
So you know, like it's all about that. But like you said, the balance of when we have our downtime, getting to know individuals. Who likes to be on their own, who wants to be in a group and playing cards and what have you not. So we've got a really good group of experienced girls who have been to many World Cups, who kind of know the deal. We've also got a lot of girls who've never been away from home for this amount of time. So it's about leaning on those experienced players and those who you're comfortable with, and almost making it home away from home, essentially. This is family, and I think the lead up to this for 6 months of all of us being together has actually been so helpful in cementing them bonds and being able to actually tolerate each other off the field.
Yeah, and that time we're in Canada, I heard that was really, really beneficial that you went and did that kind of stuff. Who's the games masters then? Who's the social sec? Who's playing the pranks? Come on.
So we actually are at the minute nominating who we're going to have for social sec.
That's bigger than World Cup selection.
Yeah, like massive. So we're all waiting. It's coming out today, this afternoon. Who's going to be in charge of all the fines, all the social sec? So at
are you
the
in
moment,
the running?
Oh God, no! I'm at the bottom of the list. I'm not one to put my hand. I think I get a lot of fines. I'm probably not great to take over that role of giving the fines out because I'll be earning a lot of money by the end of the tour.
Brilliant stuff. You'll have an amazing time when you get to New Zealand. Are you one of those who desperate to dump the bags in the room and get out when you got a bit of downtime and see the country and experience it fully?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we're going all the way across the world to do the one thing that we love as a job, but also it's about being able to explore and meeting new people, and that's the beauty about rugby and everything and stuff like this. It really enables us to go and actually see the world, which I never thought I was going to do as a job. So, yeah, I'm going to dump my bags and straight away grab a load of the girls, going to go find the best coffee place, which everyone does, and go and have a look around, see the sights, and hopefully get a little bit of exploring done.
One last one from me. We look at the pool games, Scotland, New Zealand, Australia. You've got to say that the pivotal game is that first game against Scotland. Team you know incredibly well, beat them in the Six Nations, of course. Just how crucial is that game? And is there a danger that you almost think about it and talk about that game too much?
I think the pressure comes from ourselves, essentially. We know that Scotland, that opening game for us, the Scotland game, is going to be probably the hardest battle. I don't think that we're putting too much on it. We've just got to make sure that internally we know that we're at our best. We know our stuff inside and out. We know what we're doing on the pitch exactly at the right times. And I think our performance is going to be the biggest thing for that Scotland game. I think if we perform well and we do the basics right, I think we'll be absolutely fine. That is just the kind of opener for us. That's our World Cup opener. I think Scotland will be the biggest test, but all the pressure comes from ourselves and our performance. We know that we have to perform better than we did against Canada and against England. We know we've got some wrongs to right. And if we do that, I think we'll be absolutely fine. But we are under no illusion. That's probably going to be our biggest game, but we do have battles coming up against New Zealand and Australia. So we're not going to put too much pressure on that. We're not going to put too much pressure on ourselves. It's just all about our performance and doing what we do well.
I'm going to stick one last one in.
Go on.
The most important question I'm going to ask you today. How many bows are you taking?
I can't take my bow suitcase. It won't fit in my actual suitcase. So I'm taking...
WRU, pay for additional luggage, please. Come on.
So I've had to throw as many as I can into my hand luggage. So there'll be different colours, varieties, but, you know.
Can't wait to see those and you in the World Cup. Many congratulations.
That's perfect. Thanks so much.
I'm Lisa Burgess, and you're listening to the Women's Rugby Pod.
Next up is Lowri Norkett, following in her sister's footsteps, who played in the 2014 Rugby World Cup. Ellie tragically, of course, passed away aged 20 back in 2017. Lowri's also accepted the offer of a full-time contract until the end of the year. Clearly, she was a happy bunny. Lowri, thank you so much for joining us on the Women's Rugby Pod. You've just been named in Wales World Cup squad. There's a half a smile there. Inside, what are the emotions doing?
It's pretty surreal. It's been a whirlwind of a month, first cap, first contract, and now I'm going to a World Cup in New Zealand. So just a bit overwhelming, but good overwhelming.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been, as you say, a whirlwind time for you, almost coming from the cold. What do you put that down to?
I think persistent hard work and never giving up. I think, you know, when you've got something in mind, you've got ambitions, as long as you work hard, you'll always sort of achieve what you want to. And I think if you're persistent in what you do, your routines, and always aiming high, I think it's a good point to start. So, yeah, over the moon.
And what was the reaction of fellow players and friends and all the rest of it in the squad for you?
Just over the moon for me. You know, my family have supported me through my rugby journey. My fiance does all the work behind the scenes, so, you know, helping me doing off-field sessions, you know, different things. He's always there for highs and lows of selections and stuff, and it's just been amazing. They're just so pleased to see that I've got a seat on the plane to New Zealand.
You speak about your family. It'd be remiss if we didn't. Of course, your sister appeared in 2014 out in France. Were you out there in Marcoussis?
I was indeed, yeah. I was in the crowd. We went out there for a good month, so it was a pretty surreal experience. I remember watching her from the crowd, and I was always in awe of her talent. She was only 17 going to a World Cup, so it was just amazing to see, and I was always so proud, and that was my best memory of her playing rugby, I think, out in the World Cup. It was just I was so proud of her.
So presumably then this makes this that little bit extra
it's even more special, yeah. Just, you know, 8 years on from watching her in the Paris World Cup to now knowing that I'm going to New Zealand in a World Cup. 8 years on, I would never ever, if anyone had said to me in the crowd, do you think that you could ever play in a Rugby World Cup, I would have probably laughed and just thought, I'm not a rugby player. But looking back now, I know that, you know, she will be so, so proud of me. And yeah, it's just a dream achieved.
Family coming out, they're making plans, busily booking flights?
Yeah, I think they're going to do a last-minute flight, my mum and dad, because they came out to Canada to obviously see my first cap. So my fiancé is doing his teaching degree, so he'll be watching at stupid o'clock on the TV. But yeah, my parents are hoping to come out, so yeah.
And you personally, now, as the coaches will tell you, and we heard it today on the training field, the easy bit's done, you're on the plane, you want to get on the park. What are your expectations for you personally once you hit the ground in New Zealand?
Just work hard, keep working hard, keep learning. I think you're not just going out to a World Cup to not play. I think everybody wants to stamp their foot on the position. So for me now, it's maintaining my jersey and also working hard and doing the best I can to get on the field in a Rugby World Cup. So yeah, the hard work never stops. And from the moment we land, you know, that's when you've got to put your mind into the game mode and ready to hit the ground running.
Have you played in New Zealand before?
Never.
It's a real fishbowl. You looking forward to that?
I'm very excited, yeah. It's I just can't believe I'm going to New Zealand, to be honest.
I'm Mo Hunt, and you're listening to the Women's Rugby Pod.
Kerin Lake is next on the pod, the veteran Welsh international. Full started at the last two World Cups. Injuries and all the rest of it have prevented her getting to a World Cup, so she is absolutely delighted to be named in this 32-player squad today. Where are you exactly? Because this day of being chosen in a World Cup squad has taken you a long time. You've had a couple of attempts at it, but you're now there basically. Last training session's done, or thereabouts. You're about to get on that plane. Can you quite believe today's happening?
No. I can't, like you said, third attempt as such. First one, I think it was a year after Jacob was born. So yeah, wasn't really ready for that one. 2017, just personal reasons, withdrew from the squad. And then this one then, like, it's always been the height that I wanted to hit in my career to make a World Cup. Like, Six Nations are brilliant. I loved the Six Nations tournament and everything, but the World Cup, like, it was always what I wanted to aim for. This week, I convinced myself I weren't going, just with the niggle that I had. So in the build-up, I just thought, there's no chance they're going to risk it. Like, it's just come at the wrong time. I won't be ready in time. So yeah, I convinced myself I wasn't going, to be honest. I was looking at flights to go out. And then, here I am speaking to you, getting on the plane on Friday.
Oh, it's outstanding. A couple of things to pick up from there. One is, what was Jacob's reaction?
Well, he forgot after. Like, he went to school in the morning. So Steph said to him, like, don't wind Mammy up this morning. Like, she's really stressed. So, get your clothes on, get your breakfast done without being a pest. So he went to school, and then when he came back, I was thinking, he's going to ask now. Nothing. I was like, how was your day in school? Yeah, good. Okay, what did you do? Yeah, fine, nothing. And then about an hour later, he was like, are you going to World Cup? Are you coming with us or are you going? I was like, I'm Mammy's going with the team, and he was like, "Oh, nice, yeah, good." And that was it. I was like,
Yeah, straight back to
yeah,
Lego.
as long as I'm going, yeah, he's happy whether I was going with them or the squad.
Oh, brilliant! Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And you mentioned this niggle.
Yeah.
So it's been a real grind.
Yeah.
Did you have moments where you think, "Geez, this isn't meant to be"?
Yeah.
And I've had 2 missed opportunities, and now I've got this niggle. It would be silly for them to take me.
Yeah.
Did you have those moments?
Yeah.
And if you did, where does the power and the belief come from to get you to where you are now and training so hard? I mean, you were running constantly
Not
for
very
an hour.
fast.
Well, you are a hell of a lot faster than I would. So
No, yeah,
everything's
it's been a roller coaster. The whole, because I was out with concussion first through the pre-season, so I missed 2 weeks with the new protocols. So that was 2 weeks. First session back, then hurt my calf. Yeah, it's been a slog. I've had what they call troughs and waves. Is that what they say? Yeah, daily, waking up really positive. I think that's waking up positives helped me, but by the end of the day I've been crying nearly daily, just because when I feel like I'm getting somewhere with it, it was just I'd try a little bit too much and then I was in pain, and then next day wake up and I'm like, oh, it's fixed. All I needed was an ice bath. They're great, lovely. And then I go to do something again, and it was just another setback. The girls have been really helpful, picking me up. To be honest, I'll always pick the girls up. One thing you've done today is better than yesterday. It's brilliant, and they've kind of turned that on me then, and they've really pulled me through as well. But with it being potentially my last chance at a World Cup, I think that's what's really kept me going. This could be the last chance, and I've got to give it my all to say, if I didn't get selected and I am gone, at least I've given it my all. And it's on my terms. An injury is an injury, but I can still prove and do progresses for the coaches to see. And then to get, like I said, it was that build-up in the week. I was thinking, I'm nowhere near getting onto the field. So maybe they won't take a risk and take me, but before the first game, I was still 3 weeks of rehab and training that I could have had this week, and 2 weeks we're out there. And yeah, they've taken the risk. So I was very grateful, very upset. A lot of tears came out Friday morning. But yeah, it was a bit of a relief as well that everything I am doing, it is being seen, and not sometimes you feel like coaches don't see the progress off the pitch, but they are always watching. All the management are in talking, physios, S&Cs, everything you do is being watched, isn't it? So all the little gains I was making off the pitch, they're hearing about, and yeah, they've taken a chance.
Yeah, you'd be one of the happiest people to get on that plane
to
New Zealand. You mentioned the girls there. You've been in the squad and around this setup for many a year now.
Yeah.
Rate this squad in terms of the names, but also the atmosphere and the cohesion.
Yeah, it's a real close-knit team in the minute. It's really built from autumns. I think we had a really good autumns. I think coming in and having Nigel say that Johan and stuff are committed as well for, is it a 2025 World Cup as well? I think that just lets you settle a bit and really get the relationship with coaches, management and everything. And then us as players then can kind of relax and forget about all that stuff happening that we can't control really. And yeah, we live by our values. We have value meetings quite often, maybe monthly, just to review the values of what we want and what we want to achieve off the pitch, on the pitch. And, everyone's buying into it. We've been given everything we've asked for to a degree. We've been given contracts, we've been given the setup, everything. So it's up to us then to live by them and adhere to them. And yeah, it's probably one of the best squads I've been involved in at the minute, with how close-knit we are and willing to sacrifice things for each other.
Finally,
yeah,
Scotland first up.
Yeah.
Probably the pivotal game in the pool. Are you dreaming of tackling Helen Nelson? That kind of, Lisa Dawson, those kind of people now.
Yeah. For myself personally, it's just keep ticking over with rehab, keep ticking the boxes. I know it's a generic thing, but I can't think too far ahead. I've just got to take day by day, and if that is that I'm ready by Scotland for selection, then that's that. But I'll back the girls, and I know any team that goes out there will, be able to do a job. And like you said, it is probably the most important game. It's as we say, it's a must win, isn't it? So, all eyes are on the first game, and I back any of the girls to do it.
We're absolutely delighted for you, genuinely, really
Thank
delighted
you.
that you're on that plane, and I hope Jacob really enjoys New Zealand as well. He's got to go and see Lord of the Rings land and that kind of stuff. You know.
Yeah, might be a bit scared.
But yeah, enjoy yourself in New Zealand. Thanks so much
you.
for joining us.
Thank you.
Last and no means least, a lady who needs no introduction, well, very little anyway. An Olympian, and now she is going to a World Cup as well. A World Diva player, Jazz Joyce. Here we are with Jazz Joyce. First of all, Jazz, a huge congratulations on being selected for the World Cup. Where are the emotions now?
Thank you very much. Yeah, excited. I think Johan's touched on as well, the easy part's done. We're selected for the World Cup. We go to New Zealand. That's the easy part now. Done, you're selected. Still keep putting in the work, still keep working hard. And yeah, so focused on Scotland first game.
How did you find out?
We found out via email. So I know Johan rang some players to say congratulations or unfortunately you're not selected. So yeah, the email was just a email saying, dear player, congratulations, you made the squad. And then following that, then maybe about a day later, we found out the whole squad then and who was selected.
What were you doing? Were you doing that day? Were you sat literally on the computer, refreshing every 14 seconds?
Pretty much, yeah. So he said it was coming out at 10, and I think it came out at 7 minutes past 10. So on edge, yeah, waiting to get the email. So
A very long 7 minutes.
Very long 7 minutes, yes.
So now that squad is together, just your thoughts on that squad. It's a real mix. 2 or 3 players on 4th World Cups, that kind of stuff. 18 potential sort of World Cup debutants. Your thoughts on the blend of that squad?
Yeah, it's fantastic. We've got the experience of girls who have been to 4 World Cups. If they can filter that through, let us know how best to prepare for a World Cup. It's fantastic. I know some of the girls have sent through stuff, how to prepare, bring in pillows from home, bring in pictures to make it feel more homely as well. Like, at the end of the day, we are away for 6+ weeks, so how can we best make it more like home so we feel relaxed and kind of at ease in New Zealand? But also we've got some great talent coming through, some of the younger girls who haven't been to a World Cup, who haven't played in Six Nations, things like that. So yeah, real good buzz and energy from them as well. They're excited, they're new, they're just waiting to go. I think it's a brilliant mix of people.
You've obviously travelled the world, played in some really big stadiums, huge amounts of crowd on the Sevens, been to Olympic Games. What experience and knowledge can you bring and impart on these younger players? Of, as you say, it's not just about being on the park, but also how you engage with each other for a long time away from home. What are you going to bring to the party and impart to those youngsters?
Yeah, I think we had a real test in Canada, culturally wise and also off the field. So I think a lot we haven't travelled as a squad. Normally we go to Ireland, France, Scotland. We only travel for 3 days and then we come back. So to travel away for a week was it was a brilliant test for us, and we learnt a lot about each other both on and off the pitch. So, but I think the main thing for me is my advice would be to enjoy the moment. So not think, oh right, okay, we want to get to a World Cup final. It's right, we've got Scotland first. Just enjoy the moment and embrace everything we do. So enjoy the training sessions, enjoy when we have days off, enjoy when training sessions go wrong, because you get to learn from that as well. So I think that's massive from me, and I think sometimes in an Olympic Games, the pressure gets to you and you're solely focused on performance, and then you're stressed and you get caught up on it. And sometimes I haven't enjoyed the moment as much as maybe I should have. So that would be my advice, and that's what I'm going to take on. The happier you are, the easier it becomes, and the more relaxed you are on the pitch. So yeah, just embrace and enjoy every moment going through.
Great advice. Just finally, what are the expectations of this squad?
I've said it before, I am definitely a person who wants to go out and win everything. I'm competitive in everything I do. So yeah, so a gold medal for me. I want nothing less than a gold medal. But I've said before, our main focus is Scotland. We go put in a good performance against Scotland. We win that. We are in the battle with a potential quarter place final. We are then on a high going into play New Zealand. It's going to be tough. Home crowd for them. They're going to probably be on a high from their last game as well. And then we've got Australia last. So we put in good performances against them. We are in a quarter final.
Great stuff. Go well. Enjoy the flight, and all the very best luck.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.